What is up, guys? First of all, I want to give a very heartfelt thank you to each and every one of my subs. I recently hit 30,000 subscribers, which is an insane number to actually say out loud. So I am so very happy and appreciative for all of you subs and regular viewers. So to celebrate today, we're doing a little something different. As you can see, this is just some ranked match footage in the background, but what I'm going to be doing is a Q&A. I asked on my channel to send me some questions that you want answered, and I'm just going to run through some of them and answer them. And if you didn't see where I posted this, basically it's in the community section of my channel. So if you go to my channel page and hit the community tab, you can see all my posts there. I like to do polls and stuff on there, and that's also where I like to do communications like this. Or if you're a sub, you'll see what I post. It'll come up in like your sub timeline. So anyway, let's jump straight into the questions. So first of all, Mr. Mojo27 asks, what fight stick do you use and which button layout? This is by far like the question that I get the most. I use a Kanba Obsidian. It's a great stick. I can't recommend it highly enough. I also have a Mad Catz Tournament Edition 2 that I bought a while ago. And it's pretty good, but the Kanba is just like way superior in terms of build quality and stuff. So if you have the cash and are looking for a stick, I highly recommend the Kanba. Please sponsor me, Kanba, by the way. All right, let's jump. Oh, wait, the button layout, right. So I use what a lot of people call the Marvel 3 button layout. So the top buttons are light, medium, heavy, the top row, and then the bottom row is special, assist 1, assist 2. So it's pretty similar to Marvel 3, and it works pretty well for me. The only weird input is to super dash, you have to hit like with your thumb and your ring finger at the same time, which is a little bit weird, but you get used to it. So anyway, let's move on. Second question from RoboCuz. What got you into fighting games? This is a pretty fun one. So I would say Street Fighter 2 I've been playing since I was like a little kid. I played the crap out of it on the Genesis, but obviously that's a little bit different of an experience from, you know, playing seriously, like trying to get good. I like didn't even know how to do a Dragon Punch back then. The first game that I really tried to get good at was Street Fighter 4. So when that came out in 2009, I was in college, and I just became obsessed. I practiced all the time, and that is the first game that I went to tournaments for. And we even started, at my college, we started a fighting game club where we would have local tournaments, and we all tried to get good and go to bigger tournaments and do well. So that was a fantastic experience, and is really what got me kind of absorbed into the FGC scene and, you know, playing fighting games seriously and going to tournaments. And it's been an amazing ride ever since, coming up on nearly 10 years, which is a little bit wild. 10 years since Street Fighter 4 came out. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got going and what has led me here today. Knucklehead asks, what game got you into gaming in the first place? And also, are there any YouTubers I look to for inspiration? So I'll talk a little bit more about non-fighting game games I'm into later. Right now I want to cover YouTubers that I look to for inspiration. There's 3 that really come to mind. One is Kriparian. He's a Hearthstone streamer, which I know may seem a little weird since Hearthstone and fighting games are so different, but what I really like is in his YouTube videos, he has this format where he just talks at the beginning, he explains what he's going to talk about, and then the second half of the video is actually him playing and like showing the examples of what he talked about. So I do a format a lot like that in my new tutorials that I'm doing. I think it works out great. And Day 9 is another one. And also Eris. Those are 2 people who I really think are really fantastic at what they do. All 3 of the people I mentioned are extremely hardworking, like to a degree that I don't think I'll ever be. Like the amount of work they put into being entertaining and producing high quality content is insane. And also something they all do that I think is like really admirable is basically like if you want someone to listen to what you're saying, like really listen and absorb the information, you can't just like output a bunch of information. You have to like make it entertaining. You have to put a little sugar in with the medicine or else people won't pay any attention. And all 3 of the people I mentioned are just fantastic at that. So yeah, those are some YouTubers and streamers that I think are doing a fantastic job. Next up, Bubble Buster asks, do I write scripts for my videos? I don't, but usually I will like run through what I'm going to say before I say it, just to like figure out how I'm gonna word things. Oh, but when I do lists, obviously I like write the list down so that I can, you know, look at that while I'm talking. But I don't write down exactly what I'm gonna say. I've tried it and it just sounds like a little weird. It sounds like a little bit scripted, obviously. Flying Spider Baby asks my top 5 fighting games. Ooh, it's gonna be tough to name them all in no particular order. Street Fighter 2, Super Turbo, and Hyper Fighting. I love them both. I don't really want to pick a favorite. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, love that one. Past that, it's a little bit tough. Tekken 7, I absolutely adore it. It's definitely my favorite Tekken game. Yeah, I mean, those are the ones that really stand out, but obviously I love a ton of other fighting games as well. Some ones that not a lot of people play that I really like. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom is one I got into pretty early when I had just started out going to tournaments. I think that game is really underrated. And a bunch of like older games too, like this game called Asura Buster and Asura Blade, the sequel. You can play those on MAME and I believe on Fightcade now too. Those are pretty sick, but yeah, I'll try pretty much any fighting game that comes out these days, but I only get really invested if it's a game that I really like. Next up, Luca13KNT. I don't know if there's a Lucant. I don't know. What are my favorite games outside of the fighting game genre? So I mentioned that I would talk about this. Let's see. My favorite game, probably of all time, that's not a fighting game, is I think Resident Evil 4. I love Resident Evil 4. I've played through that game like to completion probably like 10 or 15 times. I really love that one. I love any scary game also. As you've probably seen, I've played some scary games on my channel. Other games I've played on my channel just because I love them so much. Kerbal Space Program is an absolutely incredible game. I've sunk hundreds of hours into that. Same with Civilization 4, 5, and 6. I've played a lot of those. Generally, I'm not into shooters. The genres that I like a lot, I like RPGs, I like strategy games. And obviously I like fighting games. Oh, I almost forgot Monster Hunter World. Holy crap, I've been playing so much Monster Hunter World lately. That game is incredible. You really owe it to yourself to check it out if you guys haven't gotten a chance to play that yet. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. Next up, Sora Joller asks, what was the very first video game I remember playing? The first video game I have any memory of playing is Duck Hunt. I think I was like even too young to know how to use a controller at that point, but I could use the gun, so I remember that. And then also, you know, Mario Brothers, since that came with Duck Hunt. My first console, my mom and dad got me an NES and a Genesis together at a garage sale for like, I don't know, like 30 bucks for the pair. So I played a lot of those growing up. Love the Mario games, the Sonic games. You know, all those old classics. I actually never had a Super Nintendo, which kind of blows a lot of people away. So when I bought an SNES Classic, which I did a video about a little while ago, a lot of those were like brand new experiences for me. I had played some of them, like I played Super Mario World and stuff, but yeah, a lot of like Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, never really played those games. So that part of my nostalgia is missing, but I know it's there for a lot of people. Oh yeah, and the side question, do I prefer cats or dogs? I really can't pick, man. I love them both. For sure, can't pick between cats and dogs. They're both amazing little animals that I love to hold and pet. So this is going to be the last question. Why are you always so wholesome? I don't think I've ever seen you tilt or lose your composure. So this is another one I get a lot. People seem like always amazed, like, oh, you don't get mad when you lose, you don't ever rage. But I think in reality, like, most people, I don't think, get really mad. Like, you might feel mad inside, but you don't get like so mad that you yell. I kind of just think it's more of an expectation for YouTubers and streamers. Like, people do it to like play it up for the camera. But anyway, no, I think it's mostly just my personality. Like, I'm a pretty chill guy. It takes a lot to really get me upset. And that, like, and also I'm into meditation, which is like something a lot of people don't know about me, and that I think really like calms you down. I got into it a few years ago. If you guys have ever thought about getting into meditation or mindfulness in general, I highly recommend the book 10% Happier. I will link it in the description. It's it's like a really fast read. You can get through it really quick, and it's for like people who are just like me, where you kind of hear about, you know, something like meditation, and you're like, that just sounds like a bunch of like some yoga mom probably would be telling me to get into meditation because it aligns her chakras or whatever. But I'm not really into any of the like mysticism like that. But like the body of evidence, I think, is really overwhelming that it's good for you, and it's helped me out. I think it just kind of makes you a more calm and thoughtful person. So anyway, that's going to be the last question, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please let me know. And I will see you in the next one. Again, thank you so much for 30,000 followers. I'm so excited. So that's it, guys. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.